Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is coming to terms with and healing from the ghosts of our past, meaning our past abuse, and letting go of and freeing ourselves from that devil type energy that is basically narcissistic energy, that is all that dark, unhealed, low vibrational, selfish, greedy, angry, etc., energy that is not of the light. And stepping back into the energies of wonder that children have when they first come into physical form, like from the spirit world, when they incarnate or reincarnate into physical form, and everything, this whole world is just a big, wondrous miracle to them. So letting go of all those burdens from the abuse that we've experienced, and also with that, especially for those of us who were raised by caregivers who were dumping their own emotional garbage onto us, we have become so used and accustomed to taking on other people's garbage that we are weighed down. And that's what I've been feeling for the last few days or weeks almost. Well, on and off, like with the energy work, it gets better and then it comes back and so on, right? But this heavy energy, and it's sometimes really horribly heavy. And it all goes back to allowing others to kind of, get rid of their stuff. And if we're not careful, if we don't have really good boundaries, then even if we're not consciously aware of it, we may take that on, right? So yesterday there was a situation where someone tried to blame shift, and I blocked that off. But it was in a somewhat professional setting where I still had to ensure that there could be a continued connection with that person. And after that happened, even though I stood up for myself and I put that person in their place saying, no, this is not what happened, and corrected the blame shifting, right? Because the other person had done something and they tried to like reverse it and turn it back on me, right? That's basically, if we're not really careful, how we can take on their emotional garbage. And those are the kind of things that weigh us down. So this could also be something where we may just politely agree to something. It could even be a, yeah, sure, okay, whatever, But we can take on whatever the person said. I'm trying to think of another example that would be good for that. It could be something like, oh my gosh, I'm constantly struggling financially. It's like, it's just one thing after another. If you say something like same here, then right away you're taking on exactly their issue. It doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have it anymore. They may or may not. But we take on their problem as our own by confirming that we have it, right? So this is basically like an affirmation by agreeing with them that their situation is also our situation, right? So this could be in all different scenarios and situations. So we have to basically constantly self-monitor what we say and how we say it, because we can still be, compassionate and somewhat empathetic, but without necessarily taking on their problems as our own. And I'm thinking of a situation there where today at work, one girl was saying how, she's really tired and it's a certain time, ladies' time, certain time of the month. And rather than saying, oh, I hear you, like I feel for you or whatever, I said, I hear you, right? So this does not make me put myself in her situation directly, but I acknowledged what she said and she felt heard and understood. And, that's one way of showing empathy without taking on other people's stuff, right? So I'm still in the process of like getting better at that as well, because whenever we don't say the right thing, we can have a boundary violation in a sense, like if I may call it a violation, a infraction or invasion. Sorry, I'm trying to find a more positive word for that, but where we basically didn't keep the boundary and, we end up with their stuff, basically. So anyway, I think you get my point. And this ceremony shall help us separate ourselves from that. Okay, so this was a little bit of a long intro. My apologies. As I've mentioned in past videos, sometimes the stuff comes to me in the moment and I also process it at the same time. So sometimes it takes a little bit to come out quite right. But yeah, so we're all, or many of us, are in the process of healing from these energies, which means that we've had them in our childhood and there is a core wound or a wound in general where those energies can keep reattaching, which is why it comes up again and again, right? So until that core wound is healed, we're just going to chip away at it, because when it's something that is a long-standing pattern that goes back to infancy and comes down through our lineage or lineages, usually both. And sometimes we may have gone through similar things in past lifetimes as well. So it can be a very hard pattern to break, right? So let's smudge and get this started. Okay. Please cleanse, clear, and renew all of our energies and reconnect us to the pure divinity within us and all around us. Help us reconnect to and be in oneness with all of creation and transmute any and all energies that aren't. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Oh, that feels better already. All right, dear Creator, higher power, source, and soul energy, our higher selves, our higher spirit guides of the light, our ancestors that are in the light, dear Mother Earth, powers of all four directions, powers of the east, powers of the south, powers of the west, powers of the north, powers of all four elements, air, earth, fire, and water, and all other benevolent powers, forces, spirits, and beings of the universe that are of the light. Please join the ceremony, and assist the healings, prayers, and protection with all of your powers. Thank you. Please close the circle of protection around us. Thank you. So the first thing that just came to me in a clear, cognizant way was how a lot of times, either knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or subconsciously, our caregivers or older siblings or other relatives may have simply dumped their frustrations onto us, their emotional frustrations, self-hate, shortcomings, unhappiness, and all of that, right? So, for example, if someone had deep insecurities, then they would make you feel small, right? Or stupid, or not good enough, or whatever the situation may be, right? So that is them dumping their stuff onto us. It is now time that this pattern be stopped and released. We recognize the pattern and ask for all the spiritual help and assistance in releasing the pattern within us that has allowed these dark energies and sometimes entities and other beings to connect to us energetically through that trauma, through the hurt, pain, and suffering, through the emotional wounding and unhealed trauma. We now release the pattern within us and let it go. Let it float away to be returned to source for transmutation, healing, and reintegration. We no longer want to continue on this dark path. We no longer, and this doesn't mean a completely dark path, but somewhat darkened. And we now choose the light. We choose to let go of all these burdens. And we recognize the divinity of our soul that came to earth to experience the wonders and the miracles of the physical form. All the different wonders, big and small. It could be flying in an airplane. That is such a miracle when you think about it, how it works. Or simply a rose opening and blossoming and spreading beautiful aroma and just adding beauty to our world. Just enjoying all the beauty, all the wonders that this world has to offer that we're too blind to see when we're caught up in our pain and suffering. And it's like we look at the world with dark shades that don't make us recognize the beauty that's all around us. So I actually forgot to explain this one earlier. I found this, I think it's a root. It looks more like a root than a regular stick, but either way, it was kind of squished on the side of the road. And what stood out to me is that it's almost like a person type shape. So when you look closely, it's like here we have the legs, here we have the arms, and well, this thing, there was actually a bigger piece, but it fell off. This kind of represents the head. And then look at this. This is the tail, like the devil would have a tail, right? Okay, it's a little higher, but you get my point. You get the drift. You got to use a little bit of your fantasy or visualizing for this. But this shall represent those devil type energies that keep reconnecting to us through our unhealed trauma. And actually, when I found it, I wanted to break it already and had real trouble. Couldn't really break it. Might be drier now. But yeah, I'm not really able to break it. So what I'm going to try to do here is actually split it in half, and therefore it shall be finished and done. And then it'll go in the fire, in the next fire. So by splitting this wood, this piece of wood, let us be separated from these devil type energies that keep reconnecting to us and hooking up to our energy field, and that keep putting us in these dark, heavy energies. Here we have two pieces. Okay, that's as much as... Oh, and here it finally broke. Thank you. Let's see. Actually, I can just split that more. And let's remove the head as well. And here we shall have it. It is done, and so it is. We are now separated from these devil type energies. They're all split up and split away from us. And we have disconnected from them. And so it is. All my relations. So let the ghosts of our past abuse now be buried and covered in healing energies and be removed from our body, mind, spirit, soul, energy field, karmically, and throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime and moving forward. And aesthetically popped into my head as well earlier, so I'm just going to add that in as well. If there is any aesthetic healing, then that shall be applied as well. And that shall also be applied throughout all of our lineages, maternal and paternal, and step and half, and anything else where maybe, part of the family is married in, and we're dealing with those energies as well. All of that shall be cleansed, cleared, renewed, healed, and transmuted into pure divine love light energy. And be reintegrated. And we're going to add some wonderful, fresh, new, unlimited source energy. We shall all be showered with massive and unlimited amounts of pure divine love light energy, source energy flowing all through us and around us, forming a massive protective shield and keeping us massively safe, shielded, and protected. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön, all my relations. Yes, thank you. And again, as I explained in yesterday's video, this is one of the types of rattles that they use historically, or actually now, with some of the carnival costumes in southern Germany, so the Alemannic people. And that's a lot of fun. So let the healing and the fun cover and replace and heal the ghosts of our unhealed trauma of our past. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön, all my relations. And so it is. And and this is interesting too. So here, this is like an arrow-shaped rattle, and that is up like a shield. So we have our defenses up now, but not in an aggressive way because it's music, but our defenses are now up. So our spirit team is 100% behind us, and we're so massively loved, safe, and protected. And so it is. Oh, and we need a little bit more throat healing, so let any and all insecurities and feelings of not being heard, our voice not counting, be pulled out and let it be sent into the fire to be burnt away and transmuted into divine love light energy and released back to source for reintegration. And so it is, all my relations. And let our throats be healed with, actually, if you have a candle, you can warm your hands a little bit over the candle and then touch your throat with that, okay? So let us be healed with the healing energies. Let our throat chakra be healed with the healing energies of the Great Spirit of the Fire. Spirit of fire, come to us, help us with your healing. Help us with your healing. Help us with your healing. Spirit of fire, come to us, please ignite the healing. Please ignite the healing. Please ignite the healing. Spirit of fire, come to us. Spread your love and light around. Spread your love and light. Spread your love and light around. Spirit of fire, come to us. Burn away all darkness. Burn away all darkness. Burn away all darkness. Spirit of fire, come to us, let us now be healed now. Let us all be healed. Let us all be healed now. And let's breathe out those last remnants. Take a fresh, deep breath in of pure divine love light energy. And breathe out any left remnants of that old energy. And we're letting it go, blessing it with love for the teaching lessons that our soul needed to learn, and release it back to source for reintegration, freeing all of us for all eternity. And so it is, all my relations. Okay, everyone. If you'd like to stay in these energies a bit longer, please pause the video. For the rest of us, let the ceremony now be finished, and let our spirit team and the divine be massively thanked. Lots of love, thanks, gratitude, and blessings. Please accept our deepest, deepest gratitude. Please open the circle of protection around us, but keep us strongly safe, shielded, and protected. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön, all my relations, all our relations. Okay, everyone, all my viewers, thank you so much for watching, for being a part of this ceremony, and for being on your own healing and ascension journey. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And I'm also sending you tons of love, light, and blessings. Be well until next time. Bye. And I wish you great abundance. Bye.